about doing kids church with you online or wherever you are with your families, and you can get your big people to help you. We've got some songs, a great story, and your craft and colouring pictures. We're ready to do kids church. Woo! Yay!
It's worship time. We're going to sing some of our favourite songs. So grab your family, stand up, teach them the actions and sing along.
Our first song will be Ark, Seek, Knock.
And then we'll do Be Strong.
I'm reading my B.I.B. early, and this is what it says to me. It tells me that I'm never ever alone. I'm learning how Jesus came down to us and gave his best. Without a doubt, the best friend you'll ever know. Our God knows exactly what I need, so I remember this. Let's go! When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. Oh, oh. I'm reading my B.I.B. early, and this is what it says to me. It tells me that I'm never ever alone. I'm learning how Jesus came down to us and gave his best. Without a doubt, the best friend you'll ever know. Our God knows exactly what I need, so I remember this. Let's go! When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. Oh, whoa. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. God knows exactly what I need, so I remember this. Let's go! When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, he cares. When you seek, he's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. Oh, oh. sold as a slave. David had courage to face Goliath. They trusted in their God. If you're up against something really big, just remember what God has said. Be strong, be strong, be strong, very courageous. Be strong, for I am always by your side. Be strong, very courageous. Be strong, for I am always by your side. Be strong, for I am always by your side. Be strong, for I am always by your side. Be strong, for I am always by your side.
Hi, that was great singing. Well done, everybody. Now it's time for our story time, and this week we're learning about Samuel and how he listened to and obeyed God. So I want you to watch. When you watch, I'm going to come back at the end and ask you, how many times did God speak to Samuel? You watch and let me know at the end. It's time to watch Samuel.
Stories of the Bible. God speaks to Samuel. This is Samuel.
Hi!
Samuel was the son of Hannah.
Hey, Samuel!
Hannah prayed for God to give her a son, and God did. So Hannah gave Samuel back to God.
See you, Samuel. Bye, Mom.
And Samuel grew up in the temple serving under Eli, the priest.
Hi, Eli.
As Samuel grew up, he learned how to serve God from Eli. Samuel lived in the house of God, but he did not know God or what God's voice sounded like. In those days, messages from God were rare. But one night after Eli had gone to bed, Samuel was sleeping in the tabernacle when suddenly God called out, "Samuel!"
Huh?
Samuel got up and ran to Eli and said, "Did you call me?"
Mommy?
Eli said, "I didn't call you. Go back to bed." So Samuel did. Then God called out again, "Samuel!"
Huh?
And again Samuel got up and ran to Eli asking, "Did you call me?"
Mommy?
Eli said, "I didn't call you. Go back to bed." So Samuel did. God called Samuel for a third time, "Samuel!"
Huh?
And Samuel went to Eli yet again. After 3 times, Eli realized that God was trying to speak to Samuel. So Eli taught Samuel to say, "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening."
Okay.
Samuel went back to bed, and God came and called as before, "Samuel, Samuel!" And Samuel said, "Speak, your servant is listening." God told him many things about what would happen to Israel. As Samuel grew up, God was with him, and everything God spoke through Samuel came true. Samuel was seen as a great prophet of God because he could hear the voice of God, and he listened when God spoke to him.
That was a great story about Samuel, and that really happened. How many times were you listening? Did God speak to Samuel?
1, 2, 3. 3!
That's right. Good job. He did. And each time Samuel wasn't quite sure, but in the end, Eli told him to go back and lie down and say, "Yes, God, I'm listening." And Samuel did. He listened to God and he obeyed God for the rest of his life. And God loves you and he wants you to obey him too. We're glad that you listened to that story, and we hope that you have a great time remembering those things.
So get your big person to click on the link below and then to access your crafts that you can do.
Now it's time for our colouring sheet and our craft activity. This is your colouring sheet where we learnt about Samuel listening to God, and you can colour that and remind yourself that you can listen to God. And this is our activity. Samuel was asleep, but when he heard God calling him, Samuel, Samuel, he woke up. This is how we're going to make that. And now we're ready to do our craft. Your family will get 2 of these. There'll be 2 of these and 1 of this. We need you to colour this in, like Alice is going to do. And when you finish colouring that in, you can get your big people to help you cut this out. So what you do, then you get some glue when they're all cut out, and you put some glue on here and some glue on here, and this little piece sticks up here, and this little piece will go down here, and so it will look like this. You will get 2, but you only need 1. When you've got them looking like this and it's coloured in, it's going to be folded in half, and get a big person to help you cut on those black lines. There'll be 5 lines to cut, and it will look like this. You take your long strip, and from the bottom underneath, weave it in and weave it out like that, and then weave it in the top and weave it out, and 1 more, weave it in the top of his head, and then pull it up, and Samuel is asleep, and he hears God say, Samuel, Samuel, and he wakes up and says, speak, for your servant is listening. We're glad that you got to join us for KINDERZONE today on your computers or at home or wherever you were with your family. We look forward to seeing you again next week as we do another story from the Bible. For now, let's do our goodbye song together.
When we see your alligator, snap goodbye. We'll see you later. When we see your alligator, snap. Don't forget to pray to God. Don't forget to love each other. Don't forget that God loves you.